What happens when a king believes his power is absolute and divine? This was the fate of Charles I of England, a monarch whose stubborn rule plunged his kingdom into war and ended with his own execution. Born into the Stuart dynasty in Scotland, Charles inherited the thrones of England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland during a time of deep political and religious tension. From the outset, Charles struggled to govern with Parliament, clashing repeatedly over money, religion, and authority. He was convinced that, like the monarchs of France, he had the divine right to rule without compromise. This attitude pushed him to dissolve Parliament for over a decade, ruling without its consent and raising funds through unpopular taxes. Religious reforms added fuel to the flames. Charles supported Anglican practices that alarmed English Puritans and angered Scots by imposing a new prayer book. These policies sparked the bishops' wars, contributing to Scotland invading northern England and forcing Charles to recall Parliament to request money for defense. The short and long parliaments sought to limit royal power, passing laws to ensure Parliament's future and demanding the king adhere to reforms. But Charles ignored these demands, leading the nation towards civil war. The conflict split England between the royalists, known as Cavaliers, loyal to the king, and the parliamentarians, called Roundheads, who opposed him. The English Civil War raged with brutal battles, sieges, and political upheaval. The parliamentarians' new model army, led by Oliver Cromwell, proved decisive. Military defeats left Charles isolated and eventually handed over to Parliament after Scottish and English forces turned against him. In a historic trial, Charles was charged with tyranny and treason against his own people. Rejecting the court's authority, he declared himself their lawful king, yet was convicted and sentenced to death. On a cold January day in 1649, Charles I was beheaded, his death marking the temporary end of the monarchy. Following his execution, England became a republic under Cromwell's leadership, abolishing the monarchy and the House of Lords. Though Cromwell's rule was strict, it lacked popular support. After his death, the monarchy was restored with Charles's son ascending as King Charles II, returning stability to England. Charles I's reign reminds us of the dangers of absolute power and the complex struggle between monarchy and democracy. His story lives on as a pivotal chapter in British history, echoing the lessons of governance, power, and resistance. Enjoyed the video? Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. See you in the next one.